Coming up, the Delaware State Auditor has officially been given her sentence. Find out whether she'll face jail time or not. And later, President Biden is coming home this week to speak on the campus of a state university. Plus, many ribbons were cut this week, opening new chapters for cities and organizations. All this, plus local sports and weather, starts now. It's been a year since the indictment of the state auditor, but now she faces her sentencing. Hello and welcome to DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson, and we begin with the sentencing of Delaware State Auditor Kathy McGinnis. Announced Wednesday morning, McGinnis is now the first elected official in the state to be accused and convicted of crimes while in office. She'll avoid jail time, though. Instead, she was sentenced to 1 year of probation, 500 hours of community service, and a $10,000 fine for her misdemeanor conflict of interest and official misconduct convictions. Based on her lack of remorse, prosecutors asked the judge to sentence McGinnis to 30 days in prison, but her attorney successfully argued a $1,000 fine instead. Last October, McGinnis turned herself in after being indicted on 5 counts of criminal charges, which included 2 felonies and 3 misdemeanors. She was found guilty in July, but was acquitted of a felony theft charge related to her daughter's employment, as well as a felony intimidation charge. She was also acquitted of a misdemeanor charge. It's been a tough year for the state auditor. She had to deal with the trial and her conviction through her re-election campaign. She was soundly defeated in the primary to newcomer Lydia York. McGinnis's term will end at the end of the year. And speaking of the upcoming elections, the Delaware Supreme Court recently made a ruling banning same-day registration and voting by mail. Voters are no longer allowed to register on Election Day, nor can anyone requesting a vote by mail ballot prior to the decision. What does that mean for unregistered voters? The voter registration deadline passed on October 15th, making them ineligible to vote. However, the Newcastle County Director says there are still some ways for eligible voters to vote.
Still 3 options available for voters to vote. If they're eligible, they can vote by absentee ballot. They can do early voting, which is October 28th through November 6th at any of our 5 early voting sites, or they can vote on Election Day at their specific voting location.
To find out where to go for the 5 early voting sites, go to elections.delaware.gov. And a motorcycle accident in Wilmington resulted in the death of a 27-year-old Pennsylvania man. As the motorcycle was traveling on Brandywine Creek Road, the rider lost control and struck a large rock. The unidentified man was wearing a helmet during the time of the crash, but later died after being transported to a local hospital. According to the Delaware Office of Highway Safety, as of October 12th, there have been 18 motorcycle fatalities in Delaware compared to 17 this time last year. OHS is continuing motorcycle campaigns called Respect Your Ride and Share the Road throughout this fall. Both campaigns went into effect back in May in an effort to reduce motorcycle fatalities and injuries in the first state. For more information, visit the website on your screen. Thanks to a new law, businesses in Delaware are now required to take cash whether they like it or not. A bill sponsored by State Representative Frank Hook covers sales made through in-person transactions. It does not apply to sales for utility companies, internet sales, or for services provided by parking lots and garages. Why the need for such legislation, you ask? Because studies show some retailers charge customers more for using good old-fashioned cash. What's more, a study done in 2019 revealed over 7 million Americans, many of whom are Black or Latino, use cash instead of banks. Not everyone supports the measure. The president of the Delaware Small Business Chamber says the law is detrimental to people like taxi drivers who stop taking cash for fear of being robbed. It's unclear at this point what exceptions will be made under the new law. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, many students received a makeover that will make a lasting impression. And it's been a long time coming, but the city officially dedicated a new park that took 16 years in the making. We'll be right back.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
A new beginning, a second chance. Call it what you want, but this is what never giving up looks like. This is what finding someone who believes in you looks like. I thought Goodwill was just a store until a friend told me about Train to Gain through Goodwill's Job Resource Center. After 5 years away, I had a lot of self-doubt and fear about my future. But Goodwill had my back, and today, I love where I work. They matched me with an employer who believes in second chances, and now I have a new start thanks to Goodwill.
To learn more about Goodwill's career development opportunities, call today.
Welcome back. It's been a pretty cool week, but let's find out if the weather will warm up a bit for the weekend. Here's Shakara Denise.
Thanks, Lauren. After the rain we had earlier this week, it's going to be a nice but cool weekend. On Feel Good Friday, we'll have a high of 65 degrees with bright and sunny skies. Saturday's weather will be similar to Friday's with sunny skies all day and a high of 69 degrees. Now, wrapping up the weekend on Sunday, it'll still be pretty warm with partly cloudy skies and a high of 68 degrees. It'll be perfect weather for the University of Delaware as they celebrate homecoming and their big game against Morgan State University. Let's go Blue Hens! Also this weekend, it'll be a perfect time to go out, get your Halloween costumes, and don't forget to grab your candy before they sell out for trick-or-treating. I'm Shakara Denise, and this has been your 3-day weekend weather forecast. Back to you, Lauren.
Thanks, Shakara. A Delaware University is preparing for a special guest to step foot on their campus this Friday. President Biden is making a visit to Delaware State University to speak on student debt relief. The federal debt relief program officially launched earlier this week and allows borrowers to receive either $10,000 or $20,000 in debt relief based on their income and whether or not they received a Pell Grant while in college. To apply for the student loan forgiveness program, go to studentaid.gov/debt relief. It was a good day for Chemours and the University of Delaware as they unveiled their Center for Clean Hydrogen. Outside of the university and the chemical company, the partnership brings together the U.S. Department of Defense, Plug Power, and the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. Together, the agencies will solve the challenge of creating clean hydrogen at a low cost and converting hydrogen to energy in an efficient way.
It is the future for our transition to a clean economy. It's how we're going to transition not just transportation in the transportation sector, but the heavy industrial sector. And we are showing real promise here in Delaware.
Interested in becoming a lawyer? Wilmington University is now starting a law school, and indications are tuition won't put would-be attorneys in deep debt. The cost for full-time students will be $24,000 a year and $18,000 a year for part-time students. That makes Wilmington U the cheapest law school in the region. The only other law school in Delaware is Widener University. And if Mayor Mike Krasicki gets his way, parking tickets will cost less in Wilmington. The typical violation will drop from $40 to $25. The mayor knows that means less money coming into city coffers, but he hopes the trade-off will be more timely payments, less confusion, and towing. He also hopes the lower fees will be considered more consumer-friendly, and there will also be some new signs and parking permits and a kiosk system to replace old meters. Don't go anywhere. DETV will be right back.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
Welcome back to DETV News. It's been 16 years in the making, but the city officially dedicated the new Southbridge Wilmington Wetlands Park. The $26 million park isn't just the city's newest public park for enjoyment and relaxation. It's also a 20-acre storm water management facility that helps restore and enhance 14 acres of wetlands, increase storm water capacity, and reduce tidal flooding dangers in southern and the lowest portion of the city.
But who would have imagined when we were out here the first time, Marie, with your little bunch of dirt, right, that we would have these athletic fields over here, that we look back and see the 76ers field house, that we would look back and see the most beautiful Salvation Army complex on planet Earth, right here in our vision.
And in other news, for families facing financial hardship, self-care, including hair care for youngsters, is something that is often cut from the budget. After a 2-year hiatus due to the pandemic, the Colonial School District's Operation Hair Care is back in effect. DETV's Kaylin Pride was at the salon to capture the smiles of the youngsters who received a memorable makeover.
It was a great day for many young students as they received a priceless gift that gave a boost to their self-esteem. After a hiatus due to the pandemic, the Colonial School District's Operation Hair Care was back in full swing. 20 to 25 underprivileged students from elementary schools in the district were bused to Paul Mitchell, the school, Delaware, for a day at the salon. Cosmetology students spent the day giving back by providing basic hair care services to the needy students.
I seriously almost cried like 3 times, happy tears, because it's fulfilling, and I'm glad that I'm able to put smiles on their faces, and then they gave me little thank you cards, and it was so sweet.
We teach our students that we're day makers and you have to give back. So when we bring in the community and we share our gifts with them, then it just kind of spreads the love, and it teaches them to keep giving back outside after school.
The partnership between the district and trade school will continue quarterly throughout the school year, giving students much needed care.
Many of the students that we deal with in Colonial School District, of course, coming from various backgrounds and different circumstances. So it gives them a chance to build their self-esteem, it gives them a chance to build their personality, see themselves from a different angle, shine a light on themselves, and beautify themselves.
I even had the chance to speak with some of the students about their new do.
What do you think about your haircut?
I think it's good. I am really happy and excited. I haven't got my hair done in a long time. Usually I would just put it in a bun or something, but yeah, I'm just really happy.
Everyone deserves a day to feel pampered, and why not the students of the Colonial School District? The future professionals of Paul Mitchell have certainly brightened the day for many, and this will be a moment that they won't forget. At the Paul Mitchell School in Newark, Delaware with DETV, I'm Kaylin Pride.
The county is also doing its part to help underprivileged children in the community. Newcastle County government, school districts, and the Delaware-based Health Alliance announced a partnership to launch the elementary school wellness centers throughout the county. The program will offer services to children in families living in poverty who have been disproportionately affected by the pandemic. Silver Lake, Brookside, and Richardson Park Elementary School, as well as McCullough Middle School, were the 4 schools selected to be funded for the program. And students from Ursuline Academy will benefit from a massive donation thanks to a Wilmington couple. Linda and Paul McConnell gifted the school $1.75 million. The majority of the funds will go towards a Young Scholars program founded by the couple. It supports students in Ursuline's lower school who need tuition assistance. Also from Ursuline, middle school students recently had a special visit to DETV studios where they participated in a TV news workshop. They learned what it's like to be in our shoes and to put on a news broadcast. Hopefully, the workshop sparked a career interest for the girls. Who knows? We might just be looking at the future of DETV.
The Teacher of the Year is Ashley Lockwood of Milford School District.
And Delaware has a new Teacher of the Year. She's Ashley Lockwood, a 5th grade teacher at the Lulu Elementary School in the Milford School District. Lockwood, who was recently named at a state ceremony in Dover, will represent Delaware in the National Teacher of the Year program. Known for her dedication to advocating for underrepresented students, Lockwood is a member of her district's newly formed Equity and Actions Committee and chairs her local union's Ethnic Minorities Affairs Committee.
I became a teacher because after parents and families, teachers have the greatest impact on the lives of children. Children spend most of their day at school and look to me for consistency, assurance, and security. I am honored to provide that along with high quality instruction that will prepare them for the next level.
A total of 20 teachers were nominated for this year's Teacher of the Year. Moving north of the state, a select few people in the city were also honored with a special award, including one of our own. The Access Wilmington and Wilmington Awards were recently held to recognize outstanding citizens in the city. The Wilmington Awards program recognizes the accomplishments of Wilmington citizens who excel in the fields of arts, business, education, health, and more. Awards were also granted for those who show dedication to community service. The awards program, sponsored by the mayor's office, recognizes those in the community who open doors and create opportunities for people living with disabilities and their families. DETV's very own Matt Ford was one of the 6 recipients who was recognized for his dedication and devotion to his disabled mother, who is partially paralyzed due to a brain aneurysm. We want to say congratulations to Matt, and we know your mother is very, very proud. In other news, now that the height of the pandemic is over, those who are Jehovah's Witnesses have returned to making neighborhood visits. 1.3 million Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States have congregations, and they've resumed their trademark door-to-door ministry. Don't go away. Nick Alessandrini is up next with sports.
The most common question people ask me is, why am I not playing professionally? I had a very successful high school career. I was Gatorade Player of the Year 3 times, 2-time state champion. But what people don't know is that I also had 2 other knee surgeries in my sophomore and junior season. People always ask me, do you wish you could take back your injuries? But I'm actually glad that I got hurt. After those injuries, I turned into a totally different player. Things just started to go up from there. One day I got a call from Trevor Cooney at the 76ers Fieldhouse, and he reached out to me and asked if I wanted to use the facility for my training. All of the pieces started coming together, and before you know it, Han Hoops was now running in a beautiful multi-million-dollar facility. Business was booming. My ultimate goal when building this was just to really make kids happy and get them invested into committing to basketball. It's important that I make sure I open these doors for all of my kids, while at the same time showing them the amount of endless possibilities that can come from working hard, giving 110%, and to never fear adversity. My ultimate goal is to get all my kids to the D1 level, the same stage that I was able to play at. In 2 to 3 years, you're gonna hear a lot of big names, and a lot of kids' lives are going to be changed. That's what we do at Han Hoops. Come join us. My name is Adriana Han, and I'm the founder and creator of Han Hoops.
Welcome back to DETV News. I'm Nick Alessandrini. Red October is in full swing. The Phillies are back in the NLCS and will be back at Citizens Bank Park tomorrow night for a sold-out crowd. Plus, some shakeups in this week's high school rankings. The 76ers got underway on Tuesday, and the Eagles get a rest this week. But let's start with our high school football. Some quick results from games last week in Class 3A. We had number 5 Sally's upset number 1 Middletown 31-21 at Cavalier Stadium. A huge win for the Sals, who improved to 5-1. Also, the Sussex Central Golden Knights hold strong at the Castle with a 21-0 win over Dover. They move up in the rankings with that Middletown loss. So let's take a look now at the Delaware Live Sports Class 3A rankings. In 3A, now our new number 1 this week is the Smyrna Eagles at 5-1. Sussex Central, they move up a spot to number 2. Sally's moves up after the win over Middletown. Middletown falls to 4. Dover 5, Appo 6, and Cape Henlopen at number 7. Now let's take a look at the Class 2A rankings and a new number 1 this week as well. Undefeated Wilmington Friends gets the top spot this week. Behind them, undefeated Howard at 2. Then the Caravel Bucks, also undefeated at 6-0 at number 3. Archmere, St. Mark's, and Lake Forest round out 4, 5, and 6. And then the Newark Yellow Jackets getting in there at number 7 at 4-2. And last, let's check out our Class 1A rankings. Staying pretty similar along the top there. Laurel still your top team in the state at 6-0. St. Elizabeth 6-0 still at number 2. Wilmington Charter, an undefeated season here through 6 games. They are your 3rd ranked team. Odessa and Tatnall both 3-3. Seaford gets that 6th spot at 5-1. And Indian River cracks the Super 7 this week at 3-3. And there are some big games on the slate this weekend, and you can catch them all live on Delaware Live Sports. First on Friday evening, it's a battle of the top 2 undefeated teams in 2A when number 1 Friends travels to Abyssinia Stadium to take on number 2 Howard. Kickoff set for that one at 5 o'clock p.m. Then at 7 o'clock, number 2 Sussex Central travels to take on number 7 Cape and the Vikings homecoming weekend. That's a big matchup in 3A. And then also at 7 o'clock, another great 2A contest between number 3 Caravel and number 6 Lake Forest. 76ers opened up the 22-23 season on Tuesday for the entire NBA with a matchup with the defending Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics at the TD Garden. We got our first look at the new additions, P.J. Tucker, Daniel House, Montrezl Harrell, and DeAnthony Melton, but a tough task for the Sixers in their season debut. Jason Tatum dropped 35 with 12 boards and helped lead the Celtics to a 126-117 win over the Sixers. The Beard looked pretty good in his season debut as he led the Sixers with 35, 8, and 7. Embiid finished with 26 and 15, also 5 assists, and Tyrese Maxey had 21 in the loss. 76ers are back at it tonight, but it won't get any easier as they welcome the Bucks to Philly with tip-off at 7:30 p.m. Phillies have a day off today after beginning the NLCS on Monday. The series began out in San Diego with the 6-seeded Phillies and the 5-seeded Padres. Phil's got it going in Game 1 behind Zach Wheeler's 7 scoreless innings and a few solo shots from their stars Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber. But Game 2 on Tuesday didn't go as well for Aaron Nola and the Phillies. Padres got hot with a 5-run 5th inning and went on to an 8-5 comeback win. Game 3, though, will be in Philly, the first NLCS in Philadelphia since 2010. Ranger Suarez will be on the mound for the Phils and will duel with Joe Musgrove from the Padres. First pitch set for 7:37 p.m. at Citizens Bank Park. And now it's time for our Delaware Live Sports top plays of the week. We got 4 good ones for you here in week number 6. As we'll get started with number 4 and Salesianum. Jacob Ziegler here already has a pick 6 on the season. 3-0, they're leading Middletown, and he's going to have another one. Falling back, throwing it off his back foot, and instead Ziegler comes up, makes the interception, and takes it back the rest of the way. A pick 6 for number 22 and Salesianum. They got that big win over Middletown this week, 31-21. Now over to Caravel. This is Craig Miller. He's going to break this one off for a big touchdown run. Here they are up 21-8 over Woodbridge. He'll get the carry, break a few tackles, a little hesitation on the sideline, and he is gone, showing off the speed. 30, 20, 10, and into the end zone. Craig Miller, a big touchdown run there at number 3. Over to number 2, this one courtesy of Alex Phillipson, and this is the Tatnall Hornets and some more defense. Check out Micah Stamper here, going to read the quarterback's eyes, come up, make a play on it, pick the ball off, and then he's going to go the other way, all the way into the end zone for Tatnall's Micah Stamper. He has the pick 6 there at number 2. And that'll take us to our top play of the week. This is just Christian Galbin from Smyrna. He's also going to do something here on the defensive side of the football. He's back in the secondary, jumps the slant route, able to pick it off, and then he is gone. Nobody going to stop Christian Galbin. 96-yard interception return for the touchdown. Smyrna Eagles, they're your new top team in Class 3A. Well, that'll do it for sports this week. Lauren, back to you.
Thanks, Nick. And speaking of sports, sad news for Delaware State University athletics as they mourn the loss of their assistant football coach this week. Brian Bassard served as assistant coach to both the University of Delaware and Delaware State University. The former UD football star brought more than 30 years of college coaching experience with him when he joined the Hornets staff back in 2020. He was promoted during the 2021 season, but after the first 2 games of this season, he stepped down due to illness. He passed away in his Philadelphia home at the age of 55.
As soon as I got here, I just felt the warm embrace of the community, man. Like what y'all got going on is wonderful. And no wonder y'all called the work group, because y'all putting that work in. For real, seriously, y'all getting the work done.
We are committed to creating the best Riverside we can with the community, for the community.
Still searching for cheap gas prices? Dump the pump and ride DART. You can DART to your destination for only $4 all day. Let DART do the driving while you enjoy our free Wi-Fi available on all buses statewide. While scrolling through your favorite apps, don't forget to download DART's free transit app for real-time bus information and enjoy the convenience of contactless fare payment through DART Pass. So what are you waiting for? Dump the pump and try transit. Visit dartfirststate.com or call 1-800-652-DART.
Welcome back. It was a beautiful fall evening for many at Carousel Park as Newcastle County hosted Sleeping Under the Stars. Families camped out overnight at the premier fall event, but before everyone went to sleep, campers experienced lots of fun and activities including bonfires, tent-to-tent trick-or-treating, and a movie under the stars. And finally, students from Richardson Park Elementary School had a fun day as they helped Newcastle County Executive Matt Meyer cut the ribbon for the newly constructed turf fields at the Banning Park. They also helped him take the first ceremonial kick. Known as the Frawley Soccer Complex, the area has gotten a complete makeover this past year with everything soccer enthusiasts want and need. The kids even got to practice kicking the ball into the net with the county executive standing in as the goalie. That's all for DETV News. I'm Lauren Wilson. Be sure to follow DETV News across all social media platforms and to check out our website for more news and local stories at DETVCH.com. Take care, and we'll see you next time.